People thought the courtroom was the finish line for young Thug and everyone tied to the YSL saga. But somehow, this story refuses to die. A late-night clip just hit social media. Grainy security cam footage. Shaky audio, hospital hallway lighting, and fans swear they see young Thug and YSL Woody in the same medical wing. At the same time, nobody knows how the footage leaked. Nobody knows who recorded it. But the internet is already losing its mind, calling it the most dangerous hospital visit in rap history. Some people claim Thug was escorted in with 2 sheriffs. Head down, hands cuffed, whispering tight under his breath like he knew cameras were nearby. Others swear Woody was already inside, talking fast, animated, pacing like a man with a secret inside his chest he couldn't hold anymore. Nobody can confirm what they were treated for. But the rumor mill is spinning everything from stress, breakdowns, to panic attacks to internal beef. And then comes the part that turned Twitter into pure chaos. One angle allegedly shows Woody stopping and staring as Thug passes by. He doesn't speak. Thug doesn't look up. The hallway between them feels like a pressure cooker. Months of allegations, snitch talk, leaked interviews, courtroom testimonies, emotional implosions, all boiling down to 8 seconds of silence in a hospital corridor. Fans are asking the same questions over and over again. Was this planned? Was this a coincidence? Was someone sending a message? Because emotions ran high the moment that clip hit TikTok. Half the comments say Thug looked betrayed. The other half say Woody looked terrified. And now the streets want answers. What really happened in that hospital? Confrontation, or a warning? Nobody expected a hospital hallway to turn into the new front line of rap tension. But that's exactly what's happening right now. The clip didn't come from a news station. It didn't come from a courtroom livestream. It came from some shaky phone that shouldn't have been recording at all. The timestamp on the footage looks recent, but nobody can confirm it. The person who leaked it won't identify themselves. All they wrote in the caption was, "Look who ran into each other." That sentence alone had fans shaking, because the idea of young Thug and YSL Woody being anywhere near each other, especially after months of leaked interviews, police station clips, rumor-heavy testimony, and public suspicion, that's the kind of thing that could fracture an entire fan base. People online said the mood in that short footage felt unnatural, awkward, like 2 people carrying invisible emotional luggage. Thug, usually animated, stylish, joking, trolling, walked like he was doing everything in his power not to look left or right. Woody, normally the one people clown online, stood frozen with a hand on his chest, staring down the hallway like somebody had pressed pause on his brain. But nobody knows why they were even in a medical building to begin with. Rumors started instantly. Some pages claimed Thug might have been there for routine institutional medical transport. Others claimed it could have been private mental health check-ins. A few dramatic accounts said somebody might have fainted from stress or needed blood pressure monitoring. Nothing is confirmed. Nothing official. Just noise. And the moment you mix uncertainty plus court cases plus rap fans equals emotional circus. A few bloggers said Woody looked like he had something else to get off his chest. Fans took that and twisted it into 1,000 narratives. Heartbreak, guilt, fear, strategy, second thoughts, revenge, self-preservation. No one knows. But the mystery sells. One Atlanta fan wrote, "If that man looked any more nervous, you could hear his heartbeat through the screen." Another commenter clapped back, "Nervous? He looked relieved, like he finally saw someone who understands what he's going through." See how every frame turns into philosophy now? That's what this case has become, psychology, dressed in streetwear. But the real panic began when people started circulating old clips next to the hospital footage. Someone reposted that interview Woody allegedly gave during police questioning, the one where he talked too much for internet comfort. People paired that with a freeze frame of him in the hallway, writing captions like, "Look at the guilt." Other accounts denied any of it. That hallway stare wasn't guilt. That was fear of the unknown. You don't know what them people told him? That's the thing. The hospital clip arrived in a world already primed for paranoia. Some fans said, Thug walking past Woody wasn't silence. It was institutional supervision. They claim officers probably told Thug not to speak, not to break transport protocol, not to acknowledge anyone. Whether that is true or not, nobody knows. But it sounds believable enough to spread. Other fans swore that silence looked personal, like trust issues that turned into emotional walls. One girl on TikTok said that wasn't police energy. That was heartbreak. Heartbreak. Imagine calling felony allegations heartbreak. But in rap culture, people rewrite legal cases into romance metaphors. It's insane, but it happens. And just like that, 2 seconds of hallway eye contact became a relationship analysis video. You'd think family members would ignore online commentary, but emotions ran high. An account claiming to be close to Woody's circle dropped a post saying, "Y'all don't know what he carrying." Stress can break anybody. That line turned the comment section sympathetic. Suddenly, people stopped clowning and started talking mental health. Some wrote encouraging messages to Woody. Stay strong. Protect your mind. No one knows your truth but God. See the swing. First people insult you, then pity you. That's how fast the internet flips. Meanwhile, on Thug's side, blogs claimed his team is furious about how every tiny movement he makes becomes a legal headline, a psychological guess, or a conspiracy thread. They say some attorneys worry that viral content shapes the public narrative in ways that affect jury pools. Again, rumor. Nothing official, but one entertainment lawyer did say on a live stream, in big cases, perception becomes its own evidence. That quote took on a life of its own. People started treating memes like testimony. It's outrageous, but that's 2025 internet culture. You know what added more fuel? Some fans believe the hospital clip wasn't accidental at all. They think someone leaked it intentionally to create doubt. Doubt in loyalty. Doubt in testimony. Doubt in emotional stability. Doubt in justice. Fans posted, "This is psychological warfare disguised as a hallway video." That level of drama cannot be measured. There's also the mother factor. Rap fans love dragging moms into scandals. One rumor page posted that one of the families involved has been emotionally torn apart. Trying to understand whether Woody is scared, betrayed, or manipulated, the post claimed the family was left divided. Some want him quiet. Some want him safe. Others want him far away. Again, total rumor language, but the emotional punch travels fast. Then somebody else leaked a supposed DM from a woman claiming to know hospital staff. She wrote, "Nobody spoke. They weren't allowed. They looked exhausted." That story sounded boring on its own, so internet detectives enhanced it. They said exhaustion equals guilt. They said silence equals strategy. They said medical visits equals panic attacks. Fans love turning human fatigue into mythology. What made everything worse was an account saying the hospital clip might have happened after a rough court day. The way that rumors spread was insane posts saying Thug was frustrated. Woody was emotional. Legal teams were clashing, and mental pressure had crossed the line. But none of those users provided dates, proof, or context. Because facts don't trend, feelings do, at this point. The hallway moment became a choose-your-own emotional ending drama. Some saw brotherhood. Some saw betrayal. Some saw tragedy. Some saw strategy. Meanwhile, TikTok psychologists stitched the clip and started talking about trauma responses. Frozen posture, avoidant eye movement. Like they're analyzing an Olympic medical exam. One woman said, That wasn't fear. That was someone calculating their future. A guy responded, "Nah. That's somebody who already knows the future. Everyone is scripting destiny now." It got to the point where fans started editing dramatic background music onto the video pianos. Violins, slow-mo, turning a medical hallway into a Netflix docuseries opener. That's how emotional hunger works. People want cinematic tension where none exists. But let's talk about the biggest twist inside. People are now speculating that somebody wanted this exact reaction. Think about it. If fans argue, bloggers clickbait, comment sections explode, someone benefits. Someone gains attention. Someone controls narrative. Someone stirs doubt. Someone manipulates emotions. That's why a conspiracy thread claimed the video might be a strategic leak by someone inside defense circles, not prosecution. Why? To show thugs silent, not aggressive. To show Woody alert, not collapsing. To make them look like two men under pressure, not enemies. Is that true? Who knows? This is all rumor. Another theory claims somebody leaked it to make Woody look intimidated, which influences online perception of cooperation. That's dark psychology. Then a much messier narrative appeared. Fans who believe the hospital moment was staged to force public sympathy. One user wrote, "You show men in pain. Public softens. Public softens. Juries soften." That comment got 6,000 likes. People love sounding strategic. But other fans said this hospital moment was human, not tactical. They said Woody might be dealing with stress, guilt, mother pressure, friend pressure. Attorney pressure, and seeing Thug in a hallway triggered his emotional break. One Twitter user said, "Break." One Twitter user said, "You ever see someone you hurt and froze?" Another replied, "Or someone who hurt you. Nobody knows who hurt who. Nobody even knows if anyone hurt anyone." But fans crave emotional winners and losers. Then came the craziest rumor so far. Someone claimed Thug whispered "keep quiet" as he passed by. There is absolutely zero audible evidence in the clip. But rumor pages took that claim and blasted it across feeds like scripture. Some fans screamed, "He's controlling him." Others countered, "That's leadership." See how fast leadership becomes intimidation? See how fast intimidation becomes strategy. When that hallway clip hit the internet, you would have thought someone leaked a CIA file. Comment sections became interrogation rooms. Fans split into factions the way people choose sides in a breakup. Suddenly, everyone had a theory about loyalty, strategy, betrayal, legal survival, and emotional collapse. And none of them had facts. The most dramatic reaction came from fans who insisted this wasn't a coincidence. Someone arranged that hospital timing. Nobody knows whether young Thug was transported through that specific wing every time, or whether Woody was getting his own routine evaluation. But one rumor page claimed hospital schedules were shifted. Somebody wanted them near each other. Again, no proof, just vibes and paranoia. But vibes travel faster than documents. A commenter replied, "Arranged by who? That's not something random people can pull off." Somebody else shot back, "Who said random? Power moves are silent." So now strangers online are portraying a hallway transfer like a chess match. But the thing that pushed the drama into new territory was family interference talk. These cases always get tied to somebody's mother, auntie, cousin, or baby mama complaining behind the scenes. This time, it was allegedly someone from Woody's side, a person who posted that the emotional stress broke him long ago. The post said, "When you're locked in a room for hours with lawyers asking about life choices, family ties, and tragedies, anybody will fold emotionally. Stop judging." That line, meant to defend him, actually escalated suspicion. Fans twisted it into, "So he did fold emotionally." Is that confirmation? Emotional isn't the same as loyal. Or is it? C. Defending someone online is just throwing gasoline on a rumor. On the thug side, another alleged insider posted something even colder. We don't panic. We wait. Nobody knows if that person is truly connected to anybody. Could easily be a teenager in Ohio pretending to be an Atlanta manager, but that sentence became a rallying cry. We don't panic. We wait. Fans treated it like a mafia slogan. Suddenly, people turned the hallway stare into a psychological war. They started calling it the look of strategy, the walk of silence, the gaze of pressure. It's hospital tile floors and security lighting, but fans swear they're decoding espionage. And things only got messier when TikTok began pushing body language experts. Every amateur psychologist in a hoodie started breaking down Woody's posture, calling it signs of panic, guilt, nervous system overwhelm. One video said, when a person touches their chest, they're self-soothing after trauma. Another said, stillness indicates freeze mode, fear takes over. Somebody uploaded a compilation clip titled, Woody, showing all 5 trauma responses. That's not analysis, that's monetized imagination. But not everybody went after Woody. Some fans argued Woody was the real victim of internet bullying. Overwhelmed, isolated, pressured by attorneys, threatened by narrative. They said seeing Thug Matov triggered sadness, not fear. One girl posted, "You ever see someone you once respected and just shut down?" Another replied, "Or someone who disappointed you." Everything is emotional projection now. Fans aren't talking about a hallway. They're talking about their exes. But then the rumor spiral changed direction completely. People started speculating about phone calls. A messy page claimed Woody might have tried reaching out to someone before the video leaked. The post read, "Phone call was made to clear things. Wasn't accepted." Does that mean anyone refused the call? No one knows. Many of these accounts rely on vagueness because vagueness sells suspense. Some fans jumped straight to conclusions, so Thug declined the call. So Woody tried apologizing. So somebody snitched and wanted forgiveness. Notice how nobody asked, "Is this real?" Because truth doesn't trend, emotional shortcuts do. Meanwhile, blogs began asking the question nobody had dared. What if both men are exhausted and don't care about internet speculation? That idea offended fans because fans want mythology. So instead, another rumor popped up claiming a relative begged Woody to stop stressing about outside opinions. Someone captioned it, "Family was left divided." That phrase became viral. It hit emotional nerves. Family divided by legal anxiety. Family divided by public humiliation. Family divided by decision-making. Whether true or false, it worked. Then came the ego narrative. Another blog posted, "Some men can look each other in the face and know their futures changed forever." That sentence has no source, no names, no facts, but it sounds cinematic. So people reposted it like scripture. Now let's talk about the alleged audio. Somebody claimed they heard a recording, not a police recording, not a confession. Just a moment of emotional venting from someone close to the situation. They said the voice in the audio said, "Everybody judging from couches, nobody knows what we've seen." Again, unverified. Could be a grown man, could be but fans turned it into philosophy. They said maybe the hallway stare wasn't confrontation, it was shared trauma, a user wrote. That look between them was history, loss, pressure, and fear. Another said that was 2 souls negotiating survival. People treat crime cases like romance novels now. But the biggest speculation wasn't emotional, it was strategic. Some fans believe Thug walking past Woody without speaking was a warning, a dismissal, a message, a political posture. Rumor pages wrote, "He didn't look because he didn't need to." Power doesn't look down. Some fans loved that quote. Others hated it. Then a debate exploded. Is ignoring someone's strength, or is ignoring someone cowardice? One commenter said, "He walked like a king protecting narrative." Another fired back, "He walked like a man scared to confront the truth." Imagine turning a 3-second hallway walk into a seminar on masculinity. The fanbase started dividing into emotional camps. Team Steel Face, people who think Thug is unfazed, calculating, focused, plotting, defense. Team Anxiety Eyes, people who think Woody is spiraling mentally under public pressure. Team Sympathy, fans who want both men supported, not judged, and the loudest faction. Team Conspiracy, people who think the entire leak is strategic propaganda. Those folks believe someone inside. The system wants public perception to swing in a very particular direction. They believe leaks happen with purpose, to soften public opinion, to spread fear, to influence attitude. But then came another rumor twist: medical panic. Some accounts started speculating that this hospital visit wasn't optional. They suggested long cases create physical and psychological side effects: weight loss, panic, hypertension. They said maybe both men needed vitals checked. That rumor pushed fans into empathy mode. These men are under pressure you can't imagine. You can't judge how people cope. And that's when mothers entered the conversation again. One insider account wrote, "A mother said she's worried about breakdowns." They didn't state names. They didn't specify whose mother. Just a mother, like an anonymous guardian angel. But that small phrase, "worried about breakdowns," turned into dozens of TikToks about stress, insomnia, panic attacks, emotional overwhelm. And the baby mamas got dragged too, even though none of them said anything public. Fans started arguing about parenting pressure, visits, loyalty, emotional demands. Someone posted, "Families want peace. The internet wants blood." Fans screenshot that line like it was a Bible verse because in the online rumor economy, poetic lines become facts. Now, here's where it reaches its emotional pressure point. Some people think the hallway stare was not fear, not strategy, but disappointment. Disappointment in a friend. Disappointment in fate. Disappointment in the system. 1. User wrote, "That stare looked like two men realizing everything changed." Another, "That stare was goodbye." Nobody knows if it was goodbye. Maybe it was just a hallway. But rappers are no longer human online. They're canvases for projection. And then came the final rumor. Inside Day blog claimed someone close to the situation said, "This won't be the last time they cross paths." People lost it. They started imagining future courtroom tension, more hospital sightings, emotional eruptions, tearful eye contact. They created entire future narratives out of one anonymous quote. That may be fiction. It may be misdirection. It may be plain trolling. But it doesn't matter, because perception now feeds itself, and the only thing fans want more than answers is another twist in the emotional chain. This drama hit the feeds. The hospital clip wasn't news anymore. It had become content currency. Pages were farming it for likes. Channels were monetizing psychological takes. Trolls were using it to drag everyone involved. And the loudest voices were suddenly claiming that the hallway wasn't silent at all. That something happened right after the clip ended. A rumor page dropped a caption in all caps like it was national emergency. The real argument started. After the camera stopped, no proof, no audio, not even a timestamp. But when you say the word argument, fans start inventing their own script. Commenters asked, "Did Thug say something? Thug say something? Did Woody apologize? Did security separate them? Did someone break down?" No one knows. But people want confrontation. Like they want new episodes of their favorite show. That same page claimed a source told them security got tense not because of physical threats, but because emotions were unstable. The post said, "When men stay silent too long, it erupts." That line is generic enough to apply to literally any situation on Earth, but when added to a YSL narrative, it becomes dramatic scripture. Another blogger claimed someone raised their voice but offered zero details. Another said someone wanted answers. Another suggested someone looked like they were about to pass out. Nobody knows if these descriptions are real, but describing panic is great for engagement. And right when fans were obsessing over emotional interpretation, TikTok detectives added another rumor that Woody tried speaking, but nobody would. "Listen," one TikTok said. "You could see his lips move for a second. That was him trying to speak." Another stitched it and said, "He wasn't trying to speak, he was swallowing panic." Strangers online turned frame-by-frame pixel analysis into trauma reporting. Meanwhile, IG Live went nuclear. Some random dude claiming to be plugged in Atlanta hopped on live saying, "Boy, y'all don't see the real play. They tried to line emotions up and somebody shut it down." People kept asking him for proof, and he kept dodging like a magician. Paperwork don't move online. It moves in rooms. That line was literally meaningless, but his live went from 200 viewers to 12,000 in 10 minutes. People treat ambiguity like intelligence. If you sound cryptic, you sound informed. But the biggest escalation wasn't from blogs, it was from fan betrayal. Some thug supporters who once defended Woody began flipping sides, calling him shaky, saying he looked emotionally guilty, and accusing him of energy collapse. Nobody used legal words, they used vibe words. Vibe words are safer. One comment with 9,000 likes said, "You can't coach body language." Another said, "Anxiety, don't lie." Neither sentence is evidence, but both sentences feel powerful. In fan psychology, that shift created digital mob pressure. Woody became a symbolic villain in some threads, a symbolic victim in others, and a symbolic liability in many. This wasn't legal commentary. This was emotional warfare. One blogger wrote, "Loyalty looks different when fear kicks in." Another countered, "Fear looks different when loyalty collapses." This isn't journalism. It's poetry disguised as analysis, and through all this, a new rumor was born that Woody's family was begging him to stay away from social media entirely. Some page wrote, "He's scrolling too much. They want him off the internet." Totally unverified, but believable. Enough to spread. Then came the hospital rumor twist. Someone claimed Woody asked to leave. Asked who? Asked when? Nobody knows. But that vague insinuation spawned theories. He panicked. He didn't want to see him. He wanted closure. He wanted isolation. People assign meaning to whatever fits their emotional preference. Then, blogs began floating claims that Woody broke down emotionally after the encounter, maybe at home, maybe in a holding facility, maybe in transport. One rumor said he needed air. Another said he sat for 20 minutes frozen. Another said he cried. None of this has evidence, but crying is such a dramatic detail that fans repost it instantly. That speculation caused a split. Some fans said he cried because he felt guilt. Others said he cried because this situation ruined his life. Others said he cried because his mental health is damaged. Every explanation chooses a villain and a victim. Then someone mentioned medication, a huge online taboo. A rumor page claimed stress medication was involved. That ignited empathy threads and mockery threads simultaneously. Mental health becomes a weapon in messy fandom culture. But drama wasn't done, because next came the alleged sidewalk confrontation. One rumor claimed that outside the hospital, after exits were staggered, voices were raised. It didn't say what was said, who said it, or how loud. Just voices were raised. A comment said, Raised voices means someone demanded clarity. Another clapped back. Raised voices means panic. This is psychological fan fiction. Some users started pushing the narrative that Thug wanted a moment of silence, not dialogue. They romanticized silence like it was gangster wisdom. Meanwhile, others said, silence is avoidance. Now silence is a weapon to dot. Game of Thrones couldn't write characters this contradictory, but the darkest rumor came next, that Woody wanted reassurance. Not legally. Emotionally, a rumor page posted, "Man just wanted someone to tell him he's safe." This set off a wave of humiliation memes, and for every humiliation meme, someone else posted empathy threads saying, "Nobody knows what pressure does to the mind." Now Woody is simultaneously weak and strong, cowardly and sympathetic because the internet demands emotional contradictions. On the other side, rumor pages started idolizing Thug's composure, calling him stone-faced royalty. Someone wrote, "He didn't look sideways. Kings don't blink." That line hit thousands of reposts. Another account corrected it. "Kings blink, strategists don't." Strategists. We're talking about a man walking through a hallway, not a Cold War summit. But then someone brought up spirituality. A comment said, "When God separates paths, silence becomes destiny." That comment got 14,000 likes and 0 context. From hallway footage to destiny theology. Welcome to rumor-driven content. Then came the insider audio drop. Drama. Some random person said a phone call happened where someone allegedly stated, "Let the internet burn. We not talking." That quote, no source, no recording, no screenshot, got treated like a legal affidavit. People want slogans, not facts, and Instagram turned the hallway footage into reaction content. People recorded themselves staring at their phones, pretending to freeze, mimicking Woody's posture. Some of it was mockery. Some of it was praise. Some of it was moral panic disguised as sympathy. Reaction culture converts human stress into engagement metrics. And then came the biggest rumor shift in someone claimed the leak wasn't spontaneous, it was revenge. A rumor page said, footage leaked after a disagreement. Somebody wanted heat on somebody. Who? Why? No clarity. But fans filled in blanks. Revenge, leak. Pressure tactic. Narrative punishment. Now the hallway is a battlefield. Some fans posted, they want Woody exposed. Others said, they want Thug rattled. Others said, they want fans divided. Division is profitable online, and that's why the most viral claim was this. The hallway moment didn't show enemies. It showed instability. People started posting think pieces about fractured masculinity, systemic pressure, emotional collapse in rap culture. Rap commentary turned into therapy discourse. And when people got tired of emotional takes, they switched to confrontation fantasies. They began imagining imaginary dialogue. Why you move like that? Why you say what you said? You left me hanging. You pushed me to survive. None of these dialogues are real, but fans treat invented dialogue like leaked transcripts. That brings us to the cliffhanger of You've. This hallway didn't end in confrontation. What happens the next time? Fans are already predicting a jail confrontation, a courtroom stare, a transport argument, a whispered threat, a tearful apology, a collapse, a hug, a shutdown. Every prediction is emotional profit, because in rumor culture, the next scene always matters more than the truth. By the time the hospital clip survived 3 full rumor cycles, something even uglier took over. Public obsession. Fans weren't reacting to updates anymore. They were demanding emotional carnage. Every new post asked the same question in 100 different dramatic wordings. When will the next breakdown happen? They wanted tears. They wanted anger. They wanted confessions that would never come. They wanted confrontation where none was confirmed. The hallway wasn't a hallway anymore. It was a stage, and that's when conspiracy pages took full control, posting wild claims that the hospital moment was part of a bigger pattern of psychological clashes. One post said, "Watch the next. Court date energy gone shift." Another posted, "They building emotional collapse footage." What does that even mean? Nobody knows. But emotional collapse sounds cinematic, and cinematic equals shares. Then the focus shifted again. This time to social media silence. Rumor pages pointed out that nobody from either circle commented on the video. That silence became drama material. Nobody denying it, suspicious. Silence equals confirmation. They waiting for the next leak. In reality, silence might just mean nothing. But the fandom can't survive on nothing. They need interpretation. Then came the industry reaction rumor wave. Some blogs claimed rap insiders weren't surprised at all by emotional tension. A supposed industry voice posted a cryptic line: "Pressure separates the emotional from the strategic." That vague sentence got treated like a manifesto. Fans quoted it all week like it was Tupac resurrection scripture. And because people love turning rumor into philosophy, TikTok started floating the theory that Woody is trapped between two worlds: legal fear and emotional history. Commenters wrote long emotional dissertations like, "He's scared of what he knows, but scared of what he doesn't know." Others just laughed. "Bro, frozen like Elsa." That's the duality of internet culture, trauma, memes, and moral superiority all at once. But things shifted dramatically when someone edited the hospital clip with slow-motion zooms and labeled it the moment he knew. Knew what? Doesn't matter. Vagueness equals virality. What mattered next was fan betrayal energy. Some fans who once defended Woody started clowning him, pushing narratives like, "He looks like someone waiting for instructions. He already chose survival. He ain't built for pressure." Others defended him harder than ever. Y'all judging mental health like it's a game. Nobody knows how fear works. Street codes don't treat panic attacks. Comments weren't about facts. They were about emotional ownership. But the wildest rumor of all dropped when a blogger claimed a supposed attorney whispered privately, "Hospital leaks don't help anyone. They build narratives." That single sentence made people believe the hallway clip was psychological warfare, planted to destabilize someone mentally. Then came the legal fear storyline. Some fans argued that if Woody was truly breaking down, he could become unpredictable. Others argued that emotional pressure doesn't equal legal movement. Lawyers became the new villains in fan imaginations, pulling strings in secret rooms, shaping strategies like puppet masters. But none of these discussions included evidence, just speculation wearing a suit. Then IG started pushing transport drama, rumors claiming security didn't want thug looking at anyone. A self-appointed street expert said on Live, "A silent walk is a threat. A stare is a warning. A voice is a violation." The audience didn't ask for proof. They just applauded. People love turning body language into warfare. Then someone posted a graphic with the words, "Mental pressure does not equal low while Tyson-Lee." The fan base adopted it like a motivational tattoo, applying it to every frame of the leaked video. And then came the darkest phase, fans predicting collapse. Some said Woody was nearing a breaking point. Some said Thug was emotionally numb. Some said the hallway was pre-trauma communication. They diagnosed strangers through 480p security footage. TikTok psych experts said, "Frozen posture means emotional overload. Avoidant eye contact means unresolved betrayal." Touching your chest means internal spirals. They talk like neurologists. They're just content creators, chasing watch time. Meanwhile, fan edits turn the hallway into a tragic romance. Two souls. One moment. No words. That edit got 1.2 meters views. Nobody cares about facts. Tragedy sells faster. Now here's where hits its maximum emotional charge. Celebrity pages speculated that someone close wants the public reaction. The logic: if fans fight, attention spikes. If attention spikes, narratives shift. If narratives shift, emotional breakdown follows. One fan wrote, "They leaking mental pressure to soften public opinion." Another said, "They leaking silence to control legacy." They talk like political strategists. They're teenagers with ring lights. Then came the therapy arc. Rumor blogs said someone suggested counseling, making fans think a breakdown was confirmed. Someone quoted, "He needs somebody to talk to." Another twisted it. Talking means confessing. No, talking means talking. But the internet sees confession everywhere. Now the conversation took a new poisonous turn. People weaponizing masculinity. Some mocked emotional struggle as weakness. Some celebrated emotional detachment as power. Some idolized stoicism as dominance. One said, "Kings don't break." Another replied, "Kings bleed too." Now it's Shakespeare with emojis. Influencers stepped in, pretending to understand legal strategy, posting lines like, "If pressure cracks foundation, nobody wins." Okay. Nobody knows what that means, but it sounds dramatic enough. Then came the ugliest twist: public demand for confrontation. Fans wanted a meltdown, wanted someone yelling, wanted security stepping in, wanted a scene. And because reality didn't provide it, rumor culture invented it. Claims surfaced that somebody wanted closure. Someone else said somebody wanted answers. But nobody names names or events. That vagueness fuels imagination. Closure equals guilt. Answers equals betrayal. Silence equals strategy. You could map fan obsession like a psychological experiment. Then came the final twist: rumor. The hallway wasn't the last encounter. Blogs claimed people were already whispering about another hospital evaluation, another transport, another silent crossing, another moment of unspoken pressure. Fans treated it like a sequel announcement. Round to loading. Hallway 2. Judgment Day. Next stair gonna shake culture. They want seasons, not reality. So with a brutal truth about internet rumor culture, nobody wants facts anymore. Nobody wants verified statements. Nobody wants legal nuance. They want emotion, meltdown, betrayal, fear, confrontation. Poetry, villains, victims, and sequels. The hallway wasn't an event. It became an emotional mirror. People saw what they needed: fear, strength, strategy, loss, punishment, or prophecy. Because in 2025, fandom isn't about music. It's a competition for narrative, ownership. And that's why the last question floating through feeds is the most unhinged one yet. What happens when silence meets pressure again? Nobody knows. Nobody can confirm. But everybody wants another stare. Everybody wants that next leak, because rumors don't end, they wait. So now it's on you. You saw the hallway. You saw the stare. You saw the silence turn into 1,000 conspiracy theories. Some of y'all think that moment showed fear. Some think it showed power. Some think it exposed broken loyalty. Some believe it was just two exhausted men under pressure. But what do you think? Do you believe Young Thug walked through that hallway like a king protecting strategy? Do you think Woody froze because he didn't know what future waited for him? Do you think that silence meant avoidance or intimidation? Was it brotherhood, betrayal, or emotional collapse waiting to happen? Because fans are split. Families are allegedly divided. Blogs are inventing narratives. TikTok thinks it saw trauma in slow motion, and rumor pages swear. Another confrontation is coming, so let's hear it from the people who actually drive this culture. You, drop a comment right now. Was that silence loyalty? Fear, pressure, or strategy? Whose body language told the truth? Who's holding emotional ground? And what happens if those two cross paths again? While you're here, make sure you like this video so the algorithm pushes this discussion to the entire internet. Hit subscribe because this story is not going away. There will be more leaks, more hallway clips, more emotional rumors, and more fan wars pretending to be psychology. Turn your notifications on so the next time a pixel of grainy footage drops, you're not 12 hours late reading think pieces written off a blurry stare. This is speculation. This is rumor. This is the internet rewriting real lives into emotional storyboards. And if another hallway moment drops, we'll be right here to break it down. We'll be right here to break it down.